Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Here we go. Lucy.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Let's go.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 44. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second is Watson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Calais Campbell in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. 3rd and long. It's Watson. Hauled in by Anderson left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. That was good. They've got his man complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. That goes for a gain of 31. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. going to get this inside the 30. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, Bortles. This is Yeldon on the dump off. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be second down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
380.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Into the red zone, it's Bortles. His pass caught at the 4. And he's brought down. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Bortles will keep it. And they'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Blake Bortles taking it in. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Josh Lambo now for the point after. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Watson now to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick six last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this. These linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Come back.
Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Anderson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a carry for the fullback. This is Jay Prosch. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
Watson on first down. Going deep this time for Miller. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Richmond. Target.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Come back. Two jet.
Throwing on third down, Watson flushed out right. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Shane Leckler now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken around the 12. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Hey, spread left. Lucy. 380.
Bortles to throw on second down. Flush. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And they're going to face a third down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
That's right.
Now Bortles. Looking long for Westbrook. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. And now out comes Houston.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Here's Watson now on second down. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's brought down. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Here's Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Tiger. Come back. Come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Forced out to his left. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first. A first down carry now for Miller. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Out of the gun, Watson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Watson on third and goal. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Now the return, Rashad Green. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Second down, here's Watson. Throw left side, complete. That's Anderson. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. On third down, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now Watson to throw on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To throw is Watson. Looking to throw on second down. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but still.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him. And that's sack number 18 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Now Watson, throw left side complete. It's Anderson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do? You got to kind of...
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Miles Jack coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of...
The Texans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
So right. 380.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So right.
Here's a give to Fournette. And Hill running right through it. It's a pickup of 17 there. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Let's go.
They go play action here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line.
380.
Check 27. Eyes on 27.
A handoff to Fournette. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Being chased down left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there for the sack. And he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Bortles to throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's Bortles, the quarterback, slow to get up. Looks like he's going to need a moment or two. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 3rd down, Yeldon. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. A first throw for the backup Kessler. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Lambeau will put this one through, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Bortles going to look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Blake Bortles, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Jaguars add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On second down, here's Miller. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
First down, Watson. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Come back, come back.
From the 50, it's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Jags grab it. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. Bortles going to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Fournette, a first down carry. And he is going to lose yardage here. They set the goal beginning of the year, hey, let's win 7 games. Unfortunately, with this loss, they can't do it.
So now to be interesting to see how they respond as a team. Because sometimes when you set goals, if you don't achieve them, you don't care anymore. You let everything else go. I want to see if they're going to continue to fight, scratch, claw, do whatever to try and get as many wins as possible, even if it doesn't reach their stated number.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at EA Sports.
Can you hear me?